What are you doing in my swamp? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Scoob Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the new movie, Scoob. This is the newest Scooby-Doo movie that was supposed to go to theaters this weekend. It got released digitally because of the virus and stuff. But I went ahead and bought it on digital today. I normally don't do that because they're so expensive and everything. It was like almost $30 just to buy it, but I ended up doing it and giving it a chance because this was one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and I really wanted to see this one really bad because I've always been a pretty big fan of Scooby-Doo. I think I've actually reviewed Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed before and everything on this channel. I can't remember if I did the Zombie Island movies, but eventually I'll review those sometime. But this one is the first movie that is supposed to set up the Hanna-Barbera animated universe movies, and you could tell that they were really trying to build a Hanna-Barbera universe in this movie. That was something that I somewhat liked and somewhat didn't. I love that, like, we kind of get to see the origins though, of like how Scooby and Shaggy met and how Mr. Ink formed and stuff. I thought that was really cool. I kind of wish it would have focused more on that though, which I know there's been other movies. I think Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins kind of focused on that before in a different take on an origin story for Mr. Ink, and there's been other ones like the Pup Named Scooby-Doo and stuff like that that showed them in their younger years. But I would have liked to see more of how they came together and everything instead of what we got. But I don't want to spoil too much about this movie because, like I said, it's brand new and everything. I know a lot of people aren't going to get a chance to see it, but I did like that we got to see it, and everything that I'm pretty much talking about was released in trailers and stuff like that, so I'm not really spoiling any of the main plot points of the movie. But pretty much this movie, Shaggy and Scooby get separated from Fred, Daphne, and Velma, which that's in the trailers, and they're with the Blue Falcon and Dino Mutt, trying to get away from Dick Dastardly, who is wanting to use Scooby-Doo for something, and in particular that I don't want to talk about because, like I said, I don't want to spoil the movie. I'm going to keep this spoiler free. I really did enjoy this movie. I think it was pretty fun, but I'm not going to lie, I was pretty disappointed in it. I thought it had a lot more potential, and it would have been a lot better to me if they mainly focused on the Scooby Gang in this instead of trying to expand the universe with all these other characters. I think it would have been better to take their time on it, kind of like the MCU does, instead of jumping the gun and adding so many characters from other Hanna-Barbera stuff, because I think this Hanna-Barbera universe thing has a lot of potential, and even though this disappointed me, I still think that it doesn't mean that this couldn't become a really fun animated franchise and everything, because I mean I grew up watching all of those Hanna-Barbera cartoons, so it's still pretty cool though. I mean, we got to see some cool Hanna-Barbera characters like or not Captain Kangaroo, I don't know why I almost said him, like I said, Dick Dastardly and Muttley, they're both in here, and they're both really good. And then Blue Falcon and Dino Mutt, which this Blue Falcon is voiced by Mark Wahlberg, and he does an alright job. I mean, you can tell for sure that it's Mark Wahlberg. It sounds just like him and everything. I mean, which of course Mark Wahlberg probably really couldn't change his voice around much. Dick Dastardly is voiced by Jason Isaacs, and I thought that he was really, really good. In fact, if I didn't know that it was him, I don't think I would have recognized him. I mean, because I'm so used to him as Lucius Malfoy. and everything. But I thought that he was really good as the voice, and the rest of the voice casts are all really good. Except I don't really like the guy who did the voice of Shaggy. I can't remember what his name is. He's a funny guy. I mean, he's been in a lot of other stuff, and I've liked him in a lot of other stuff. I thought he was alright as Shaggy, but I didn't think he was real great. Wasn't terrible, but I don't think he was really extremely great or anything. But I think the rest of the voice cast were fine too. None of them, outside of Jason Isaacs, really stood out to me though. And everything, but they were all fine. Zac Efron did the voice of Fred. He was good. I personally think I liked his voice work in The Lorax better, but I thought he was fine as Fred. Amanda Seyfried did the voice of Daphne, and she was actually really good. I really liked her in it, and Gina Rodriguez's Velma was pretty good too. I like that they kind of gave Velma a different take and everything, but I thought she was good too. I think Ken Jeong is the one that does the voice of Dynamite, and he does really good. He was another one I didn't really... I knew his voice sounded a little familiar, but I didn't fully recognize his voice and everything, but I thought he was pretty decent. And I'm trying to remember the one who does the voice of... I can't remember the girl's name that's like teams up with Blue Falcon. I can't remember what her name is, but the one that did her voice is really good too. She was in the Lady and the Tramp movie, that remake that came out last year. She played the owner of Lady. I can't remember what her name is, but she did a really good job too. So all of the voice acting in here was pretty good. Now, I think the animation was really good too. I've always loved Scooby-Doo, and I love the traditional animated Scooby-Doo stuff we get and everything, but I actually really did like this fresh, unique animation style where pretty much they look the same, except the animation is just really, really good. I thought they did a really good job on it and everything. And oh yeah, and I also almost forgot to mention Frank Welker, who does the voice of Scooby. Personally, this may be a hot take. I don't know what people think about him. Personally, I don't really care for him as Scooby. I just never really have. I think he's okay as Scooby, but I think that other actors who have voiced him in other movies is a lot better. Especially the one that voiced him back in the in the 2 live-action Scooby-Doo movies. I think he was a lot better than Frank Welker, personally. And I know a lot of people can say they don't tell the difference, but you can tell a difference. I just don't really like him as the voice of Scooby. I had the same problem with him in Return to Zombie Island, which was the first Scooby-Doo movie I had seen in years. Because I just kind of got back into Scooby-Doo here recently. But I think he's okay, though. I mean, he doesn't ruin the movie, though. I just think that he's one of my least favorite ones to do the voice of him. But yeah, the animation here is amazing, though. It has some really, really good animation. It's really colorful and nice to look at. I really like that about it. And but there are some things about it that I don't like. I know it's set in modern days, and some of the music in here I just don't really care for. I didn't really like most of the music in it and everything, but I did like, I thought it was really cool how it did pay homage to the original, though. Like, there's parts in the score where, especially at the beginning, where there's like cues from the original Scooby-Doo Where Are You series when they're investigating their mysteries and stuff. I thought that was really awesome. And then it has the original theme song, and they recreate the theme song sequence and stuff, and I thought that was really awesome. And everything. It was really cool getting to see it in this style of animation. I thought that was one of the highlights of the movie for me. I thought that was really cool. It really hit me in the nostalgia feels. And there were some really good jokes in here. There were some parts that were really had some really cheesy stuff, but the jokes and stuff were in here were really good. I was happy that there wasn't like a lot of fart jokes and stuff like that. But I think there might have been a couple of little potty humor references, but for the most part, the jokes and stuff landed for me though. One of my favorite jokes that it's kind of like a meta humor part where when Fred, Daphne, and Velma are still looking for Shaggy and Scooby, and they're talking to a person that had seen them, and she was like, he saying that Shaggy was talking like an old hippie that was pretending to be what he thinks a teenager sounds like. I thought that was hilarious. And there's a lot of other funny moments in this movie, but Scoob was a really fun movie. It could have been a lot better. Could have been a lot worse too. In recent years, animation movies outside of Pixar and Disney haven't been as good to me, and this is definitely one of the better ones. And it is a good movie. So I give Scoob I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. It is a really good movie. It could have been a lot better, but it's not terrible, and I would be more than willing to return to the Hanna-Barbera animated universe if they ever do continue with them. But if they don't, then I guess we at least got one good one. It didn't like try to set up a bunch of stuff and everything, so I did like that about it too. And it didn't like try to set up a whole bunch of other movies and stuff, like a lot of movies that do that when they're trying to start a cinematic universe. But let me know in the comments what you think of Scoob. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.